I am DTM, creative genius. I'm an illustrator, artist, designer. I work in digital and traditional media, and I have been doing Adobe illustrations. I have been doing illustrations in Adobe Illustrator since around 2001. That's about right. Let's double check this out. Yep, it's good. And so in 2001, 2002, I kept hearing about Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. And for a while I was a little intimidated because you open Adobe Illustrator and then you see all these menus, right? So there's a menu here on the left. We call that the tools. There's a menu on the top. For every time you change a tool, the top section changes. You'll see that. That's the top changed. And so, and then on the left, we have our windows. So there's a ton of windows. There's a lot of things going on here in Illustrator. And what happens is that people get intimidated. I was intimidated. I was looking at all these things, wondering what is this for. I feel the same way still with Adobe Premiere, and I will be stepping into After Effects soon, and it's just about getting past these menus, figuring out what they're for and what they do. So in 2001, 2002, I really got a hold of it. I started reading some magazines. There's a few magazines out there that are still available on the bookstore. And I was working with those, going through the tutorials, figuring it out. And this is 2001, 2002, and the internet was not what it is today. I can't recall when Google came around. When was YouTube founded? Maybe I could tell you. But the search was not there. It's founded in 1998, so there was a Google already. When was YouTube founded? Let's take a look. And YouTube was started in 2005. So this is way before YouTube. So even 2005, or when YouTube began, all the tutorials you find there were not there. So it was all about reading books and tutorials on magazines that come from England. Some of them are called Layers, Creative Arts, Computer Arts, and something like that. So I went through those. I figured out what some of these things are for. Not only that, I also asked a lot of artists, and this is something I want to encourage any designer and artist out there, is that you don't jump into the career and decide that you're going to be an artist today or a illustrator today and then just do it and get paid. Is that you need to know, you need to get out the house, and you need to know your industry. You need to know people in your business. So and that's what I was doing. I was doing that because I didn't go to college, I didn't go to school. I learned by hanging around other artists and illustrators and figuring things out and asking lots of questions and getting as much information as possible. So we're going to go ahead and do this design, right? In the 16 years that I've been using Adobe Illustrator, I've been able to figure things out to a point where I'm teaching. I've been teaching for a few years now, and I started VectorMaestros last year as a response to getting artists the information that they need to explore their creativity on Adobe Illustrator and to master the pen tool. The pen tool is number one. The pen tool is the most important tool on Adobe Illustrator, and once you figure out this pen tool, everything else is just icing on the cake. So I started VectorMaestros, and I interviewed several artists and illustrators on their process, and I am going to find a few more to throw some questions at so we can all learn from them, because that's the way I learned. And so check out VectorMaestros on all social medias. And when I started a year ago, this was the second iteration of the logo. The first one, it's still on the Facebook page, and let's see if I can grab it. Yes, there you are. And I'm going to bring it in. Let's see if I can open my layer back up. There it is, and find one of the earliest illustration that I have done for VectorMaestros. Oh, there you are. Why do I have two? I don't know. So let's bring it in here. And as you can see, here goes the crop image option now available. Yes, I know. All right, let's see. So this was the beginning. And I envisioned, of course, the pen tool, because that's the tool you use when learning Adobe Illustrator. So this was my original logo design idea. Paths, anchors, and Bezier curves manipulators. That's what VectorMaestros are. If you're a vector artist, if you use Illustrator or other program that you uses vector points and to create vector artwork, then you are a path, anchors, and Bezier curves manipulator. And so this was the first logo. So that was cool, except I didn't like that top corner, the top edge of the pen tool, right? That was a little wonky. And then I redid the logo and made it more cleaner, smoother, more detailed, and I cut off the tips for the Illustrator for the pen tool. And so now I think I want to go back to the tip, but to the sharp tip, but I want to keep this design and style. And not only that, I want to be able to turn it sideways and have it aiming down as a pen tool, like you're using a pen. And so that's the plan right now, and that's what I want to do. That's how I'm gonna work it. That's what I feel is gonna revamp the logo while freshen it up and still keep a consistent look. So let's put this logo here. I'm gonna grab that there, and I'm not sure if it got stretched out. There we go. You hold down the shift button, grab a corner, and then pull on it. And you have to make sure that you're on the selection tool, the black arrow, so when you grab the corner. And when you hold down the shift button, is to give it to keep the illustration, the image consistent in its proportion. So that's what that's for. All right, cool. So let's go. So we have this. Let me turn down my opacity on my layers. I always do this. I do that for fun, and then create my new layer. So we always use layers. Layers are very important, right? That's our layers window. And as I'm working on this, I need to make sure I save it. So this is called VM logo. Yep. So Control S or Command S is to save, or you can always go to File and then Save right there, right? But layers are number one window that we use. The second one is gonna always be color, and then character. We'll leave that alone for now. Pathfinder is perfect for what we're gonna do, some of the stuff today, and so on. So an appearance, of course. Transparency, because then I can turn up and down the opacity and give it different effects. So we're gonna leave these three floating windows here. We're organizing our space. I get my pen tool to float out. So there's lots of tools here on the left hand side, and when you click down on some of these tools and hold it for a second, you'll see the rest of the tools pop out. You should see the menu pop out, and what you do then is click on that edge to the right, and bam, you get the whole list of tools in a floating window. The ones that are more important to me here are gonna be the pen tool. So that's the pen tool, the add anchor point, and the delete anchor point, and then of course the anchor point tool, which is an awesome tool right here. Then we have our direct selection tool, and I like to float that around so I don't have to reach all the way over here to grab it. There are shortcuts for these tools, so if you learn your shortcuts on the keyboard, then you click a particular key and it'll go right to that tool. So that's another option for you. I like to see my windows, I like to see my workspace in a way that I can then find what I'm looking for without having to rely on shortcuts. I do use some shortcuts, but I like having floating windows. So then this is the eraser, and then the scissors and the knife, and these are all useful tools. And then last but not least is my shapes. So let's get some shapes out there. And this is the combination of tools that I use all the time. And once you get a hang of this stuff, everything becomes much easier to create. It's still tedious, it is still time consuming, there are no shortcuts. You can pretend there's shortcuts, but there really aren't any shortcuts. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and try to take 1 hour. So it's 1:46 here in Atlanta time, Eastern Standard Time. And got a few projects to work on today, and this is one of them because I want to revamp the website. We're gonna revamp some of our marketing materials, revamp the podcast, the YouTube channel. We have a lot of content everywhere online to help you build that vector talent that you want to apply to your work. So all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let's zoom in. It's Command plus to zoom in. And first things first, look at that, there's a circle right here. Let's get that circle. Bam, got a circle. Hold down the shift button, click down and drag, and then I have a circle. And so in order to see things that we're doing and see behind, I am going to change my colors, and there's my color window. And instead of a fill color, that's what that solid block there stands for, fill, and this stands for, of course, nothing, say no. Then the second square is the stroke color. It has a donut effect where you can see a hole inside of that square. So we're gonna make that black. Let's see, there we go, good. So now our stroke color is black, our fill color is 0. Right now, what I would do is also put in a long rectangle. Bam. Next is the rest of the shape. So let's take a look at most common pen tools. They don't have that curve. Most common pen tool graphics that I find online don't necessarily have that curve. And they also don't have this detail. And I may just get rid of that detail. I may just do that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, good. So right, what I'm gonna do is start to build out the shape. So we have this, of course, easy down here. Get the rectangle done. And now what I'm going to do is make sure all of these match together. So I click down and drag across these 3 shapes and use the align tool, the horizontal. So now they're aligned and they all fit together. And it's off by a tiny little bit. So what do we do? There we go. It's close. It's close. Try to get it to snap into the center. That's very good. All right, let's zoom out. Let's get this rectangle, and yeah, let's it's too kind of long, so let's make it a little bit shorter. We're gonna go here, and now I'm gonna make the outside shape. So I get my pen tool. Let's go there. Let's go here. All right, and then I tap back into this point, go halfway, make my curve, and then bring it in right there. That's all. I just need to go halfway. I get my white arrow tool right here, and I'm gonna click down onto that anchor point. And if you're not familiar with the tools, I'm sorry, I don't necessarily will mention each name, but I am going to show you how to use them. So there we go. I like that. That's got a nice clean curve. It's a little bit too curvy this way. There it is. And then let's go back to our pen tool and take it across there. And the way you master the pen tool, it takes time. It's gonna take time to get the pen tool to do the things that you want. But the more you practice, the more you do it, the better you will get at it. And so here we go. I got that, and that. All right. So now let me copy this, zoom out a little bit, and let's fix that stroke. There you go. Way too big, but that's better. See, there we go. Nice. So now we can see that we have all these different shapes. I'm going to select that one, hold down the Alt button, click down into the shape and drag it. And so now I can transform, reflect, and I think it's the right way. Let's take a look. Yep. Cool. So now, oh, I left the copy on. I didn't need to do that, even though it's a great thing to do. So now let's take a look. These two pieces look like they are, yeah, see that connection point. So let's zoom in and let's thin everything out again because it's kind of too thick right now. Where are you? Put you away. I have my tool set up so that when I click away from the window automatically goes away. And so right now I'm working on a 27-inch screen. It has plenty of space, but when you're working on a laptop of some kind, a smaller screen, you don't have the luxury of having all these floating windows hanging out, and in which case then you want those windows to go away. And right now, for the sake of this video, I have my tools, my windows on the right hand side a little bit expanded so you can see the logo or the icon and the name of the window. Whereas most times I just have it like this, where I can just see the icon because I already know what they stand for. All right, so let's see. So we have this, we got it there. Let's take a look at this part here. So now what we're gonna do is we have two separate pieces, right? We have these two right here. We have the right and the left, and the points are not exactly in the right place. However, this is in the right place, kind of where I want it, and those are not in the right place, meaning they're not in front of next to each other, on top of each other. They're kind of next to each other. So what I want to do is unite these two paths so that they can make a shape, and I need to connect these 2 points right here. So I have click and drag to select those 2 points. Go to Object, Path, Join. Oh, not join. Come on. Let's see. Let's go back. Redo stroke. Okay, there we go. So we had this one and that one. So I select them both. Now that I selected those 2 points, I'm gonna make sure that they are aligned together. That's what it is. I should have done that one first, and then Object, Path, Join. So now they're one piece. Not only are they one piece, look, I can delete this one, and now it's one singular line. I go over here, and I need to do the same thing, but I need to get this rectangle out the way. So let's move it right there. And now I can select these 2 points, do the same thing, align them, and then Object, Path, Join. So now this shape is closed, and I can get rid of that point right there because I don't need it. Done. One of the keys is that to have the least amount of points, and that will make your illustration that much cleaner and file size smaller. So let me extend that up because I do want it up. There we go. And let's extend this. So I'm just using the arrow keys. So one thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that this shape goes beyond the edge of that shape right there. And you're going to see why. So now I'm going to select these 2 shapes, the circle and the rectangle. Go to my Pathfinder. And join them. Bam. That's it. Now they're one piece. Now I'm going to go here. And then delete this round and rectangle piece delete it from this outside piece, because this outside piece right now, if I was to fill it in, it looks like that. And let's look at our layers, and then this long piece, where is that? That's the rectangle on the bottom. Here's the long piece. I'm gonna put this long piece on the top, and I'm gonna also color it black. So let's take a look at this. I select them both. They're both selected, and I'm gonna click on this option here on the Pathfinder tool, and it says right here, if you can look at it carefully, it says the front layer will delete from the back layer. Let's see. There it is. Done. Done. Let's get rid of the inside, and now it's all one shape. Look at that. That's awesome. Maybe I'm excited and you're not. I don't sound too excited. My voice is very down. No, but this is exciting. This is awesome. There you go. I didn't have to sit here and make all the little calculations all the way across the whole object just to get the angles that I want. I took my time and built it out. In order to get the shape that I want, right? So now we have this. Let's see. That's cool. I got that. I think this is kind of too far down, this piece, so I can select it. And I'm using the white arrow right now. There we go. I think that's one thing I was missing. This was too low. I didn't like that. So there we go. So it's more in line with these two outside points, and yeah, let's leave those there. And so what I was saying is that I have the shape that I want. I'm using the white arrow to select different points along the shape to move those points, to move that area, and not to move the whole object, but just those parts. So that means that you use the white arrow. It's called direct selection tool, so you can select something directly, right? I select that, I can do that. But if I use the black arrow, which is the selection tool, when I click on something, it selects the whole object. So that's the difference between these two tools. And so now I have my my square here, and what I actually want to do is let's see what I draw. I drew this, so it's more like this is what I'm doing. I want this angle. I'm gonna do a circle. I'm gonna write VectorMaestros on here, and I'm gonna do the pen tool and anchor points path design on here, like as if this pen was actually drawing that, right? That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm after. This was the idea, and I just kind of sketched it out so I would not forget. So here it is. I have this much. I have that. This is kind of long. Let's see if I need to shorten this out. So let's get this here and shorten that a little bit. And now that I did that, let's let me delete this piece and do another rectangle. This time it's gonna go right there like that. Yeah. And I can make sure that they fit together. Let's make sure that the strokes are right, correct. There we go. Let's get that. There we go. Let's get another rectangle and set it right there. And now I can grab this rectangle. There. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. That's all right. I like that. So let's make sure that all these three objects are aligned together to themselves. There it is. I got my alignment. I got that. There it is. Now I want to do a couple of effects, and not only that, I'm going to clean up my corners and make it smoother. So right now they have very sharp corners. Take a look. You see how this corner is just very sharp, right? Very sharp edges. And I kind of want to get away from these edges like that. So what I'm going to do is let's make sure we have the thickness that we want, and let's go with 4. 4 looks very thick, but it may be what we need. 4, 4, 4. How's that look? Yeah, it's all right. There's still room. There's still room inside to see the circle. There's still room in between those. It's just too tight right there. So let's fix this by moving this down and then tapping that and moving that down like that. So now we have a little bit of breathing room, but it also expanded the width of our stroke. It needs to all be consistent. There it is. So now it's all consistent. Very good. I like that. I like it. And so now that I've adjusted the stroke, let me get a sip of my coffee. It's getting cold. Delicious. Now that I have the stroke that I want, I select everything. Actually, let's do this. Make sure we save. Control S. Saved. And I select everything. Control A. Hold down the shift button and I make a copy. Right? So now I got two. So we can leave that one alone and concentrate on this one. So now that I have selected everything, and we always make a copy in case we want to go back, and you do not need the undo button. You just go back to the other copy that you left behind. So now I have selected everything on this, and I go to my stroke window, and you'll notice there's a few options here. And this middle option says that my caps will be rounded and my corners will be rounded. And notice what happened. Let's zoom in so we can see the difference. This one is the one we edited with the rounded corners. And this one is the one we made at first. So we have made an edit that helps the whole look a little bit better. So now that we have made that change, and we can see whether or not we like it, and I think it looks all right. I like that. I want this logo to have a real clean smoothness, and so this works, right? So this works for me. If you have any questions, please say something. Please interrupt. Please tell me that you're here, and what kind of questions you may have. And so there we go. We got those two different designs. I like that one on the left. It has a rounded curve. I'm cool with that. And if it was thinner, you see more of the curve. That's all. So let's go on to the next part. What's the next part gonna be now, Dan? The circle. It's going to be the circle. It's going to be the text, and then of course our vector line. So we have these two right now. I have my layers, sketch layer. It says sketch layer because this was the only thing in there, and then I added all this text that's up here, and then the other logo. So it's a ton of stuff. One thing to keep in mind, that everything you put on the screen will show up even if it's outside of the canvas. This is called an artboard or canvas, and anything you have on the outside of it, you can still see on the file. If you were in Photoshop, you only will see the things that are on the actual artboard or the canvas. Now, what you can also do is turn off the eyeball, and then everything will go away. It will not be deleted, but it will go away, and that's controlled right here through the layers window. When working on Illustrator, you will see everything you put on the screen will show up on the layers, and so you can turn things on and off. Oh, it's locked. There we go. There we go. Or you will also change the order in which they are, and in Illustrator you place objects inside of a layer, whereas in Photoshop everything itself is a layer. So there's a few differences in things that you need to adjust for. So right now I'm thinking about this design, and I'm still not happy. I think there's a lot of gap between the circle and this little lip here, and I want to double check other artists' work online and say, I think I can live with that. I think the difference between mine and other artists is that these edges on the side are not sticking out far enough. But I think I'll live with this. I like it. I'm okay with that. All right, so this is it. So let's keep rolling. So all right, so now that I have this piece, these are my pen tool pieces. So pen tools. I named a layer. I changed the name of the layer. I have this, and before I keep working, now I'm gonna go start detailing. I need some details. I really feel like I want some details on here, and as you can see here, I have a little shiny part, and so then that's gonna give me a place to put some detail here, and that's what I had before. I have details there and there. I think I had way too much. Well, had it there and there. So let's go and add a couple of things. Pen tool, and pen tool. There we go. There we go. And I'm not extending out of the way to the end. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of a highlight of some kind and just making it end right there. Right? This is what's cool about Illustrator, is that you can move the line around. All right? No matter what you draw it, what you do, you can always pick up the line and move it. Come on now. Don't tell me that's not amazing. And I can change the stroke. So let me change that to a 2. Look at that. Yes. Turn off the other thing. Here we go. Yes. Now let's get another one. Set it right there. Do the curve right here. And set that right there. And let's fix, get my, it's too close. It's actually, let's see, let's get this tool. So this one's a fancy tool. This tool is amazing right here, because I can click on here on this point, anchor point, and now it's a hard corner, or I can click down and drag and make it a round corner. It's amazing. It's like magic. All right, so let's see how's that look. And it looks ugly, and not only does it look ugly, let me see, there it is a little off. It's just back. I don't like it. Do it again. As a matter of fact, you know what I would do? Instead of trying to match circle, I make a new circle. There we go. There it is. Right now, this gives me a chance to use a different tool. Scissors. Check that out. Scissors here, scissors there. Not being very accurate. I'm just kind of clipping an area and hit delete. It's gone, and that's a perfect rounded line. Amazing. Come on, come on. This is fun. All right, so now we're gonna do another rectangle. This one's gonna go here. And what's going to be cool about it is we're going to change the color of this one to white. Get rid of the stroke color. Grab this. There it is. Make a copy, duplicate. This new copy is going to have a black color in the inside. And this white is going to go in between here. Look at that. Not only do I have that now, I can also grab these. Where they at? They're right here and right there, right? So let's move this one here. I highlight these two layers, duplicate. Got it. So let's grab the bottom ones, and they're gonna have a white inside. Looks a little anemic. There we go. So now we're getting into the issue of color. But right now, this is gives me an idea of how does the combination of things work, and I like it. I don't like the white and black, but I like it the fact that it's that we have a color. So let me get this right. Let's get these two, and let's use the Pathfinder tool. Where'd you go? Oh, here you are. No, because they're intersecting paths. Okay, where you at? They're right there. There it is. Okay, that one needs to, oh, I see. Let's get rid of that one, and we had those two. Perfect. There it is, and now I can turn that one back on, and I have my line. See that? So now I have two solids. I have this a solid, this is a solid, and let's see what happens if we get rid of the stroke. Better. There we go. See that? Awesome. Yes. Alright, so now I have my pen tool. So let's turn on the other layer and take a look at where I was headed. I'm headed to doing this. So let's go ahead and grab this and make a copy by holding down the Alt button and moving that over. There we go. So now of course I have 3, and I'm going to put all those on this whole new pen tool in a different layer. So I created layer 4 by clicking the new layer option next to the trash can inside of the layers window. I go to object, arrange, and then send to current layer. So it moved everything that I already had selected over to layer 4, so I can turn off and lock the pen tools layer. So this is my pen, and I just changed the name. I can also change the color of my paths so that I can see them when they're highlighted. So now we zoom out, and this still lives, right? It's still alive, and it's just turned off. So now that I have this one, this new tool, the new pen tool, I can select it, and then I can see the transform tool guides, right? They're right there, and look, I can just click on that, and if I hold the shift button, it gives me angles, gives me the right angle, the angles that I need. And look, I got a 45-degree angle here, and let's grab this corner, hold on the shift button so that I can, I don't know why that feels like it's a hat. There it is. There you go. Look at that. I'm getting there. So that's it. That's the pen tool. Lock it. Control S to save, because computers break down, they shut down while you're in the middle of doing something. It's crazy. It happens. It happened an hour ago when I was preparing to do this Facebook Live, and then the whole computer shut down. The lights went out in the whole house. Alright, so here we go. Now that I have the pen tool, it's not bad. We've only been at this for how long? What's this time? How long we've been on? I don't even know. Can't even tell what time we started. 40 minutes ago. Yeah, because it was a 1:30. Yeah. So we got 15 more minutes. We need to hurry up. All right, so here we go. Pen tool, new layer. This new layer is gonna have a circle. Put a circle here. This is the easy part right now. Now we're working with very simple things, right? So we have one circle here, another circle there, and let's grab these two circles. Let's get them to align up, and let's change the color from fill color to stroke color, and let's give it the same stroke color as the pen. There it is. It's a 4. Yep, that's good. So now I can move the circle to where I think it should go. Sure, like that, because it needs to stick out on one side, and then the Vector Maestros needs to be on the other side. So let's make that bigger, and then let's center that up still. Come on, center. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm not too happy about that. Because I liked how this, I said it was easy, but the design parts are the ones that get you. It's like, does that really look right, or is it better like this? I think it's better like this. So there we go, center. Oh, there it is, center. And yes, have it sticking out. And now I think I want to write Vector Maestros right there. And let's see, there we go. Maybe, there we go. I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna show you. So what I want is the pen tool to stick out outside of the circle, but like it's all going over the circle from inside of this circle and over that circle, and then sticking is out here, making that motion of the pen tool. Whereas on this side, on the left, I want the pen tool to look like it's coming out from inside of this window somewhere, right? So we're gonna have to trim this out, and there's lots of solutions for that. We'll get to it in a minute. All right, so now that I have these two circles, I'm gonna fill them in with white and use my path. Where is that at? Here you go. Bam. So I've cut out the inside line, a circle from the outside circle. Not only that, I'm going to make a copy of this whole layer 5. Hold on the Alt button, click down and drag. Done. Oh, hold on. It's not working. There it is. Layer 5 copy, and then there's layer 5. So that's one layer, and I'm gonna lock that down. Come on. Keyboard. Layer 5 copy is gonna have to have some things that are gonna get cut off. So let's do that now. Opacity, turn that down. Zoom in. Let's get our another shape. Click not a shape, sorry, a pen tool. Click here, go there, and then go here and there, and it needs to be very, very clean, accurate, because I'm gonna do some fanciness here. It's close. There we go. All right, so now that we have this shape and that shape, all right, we're gonna select all of it and do our Pathfinder again, and there it is. Right, so now let's zoom out and turn that back on, and thank you texting. And so now that I turned that on, now we can see this pen tool going over the circle, and except we can still see the circle in the back, right? So let's turn that off. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There it is. It's going over, but I want to see that line from the circle in the background going through here to show, to give you that illusion all the way through. So that's why I need the circle back here. But the circle back here has these other parts right here, right? So now I need to do the same thing I did earlier. And what I'm going to do is make another shape. So let's lock this layer 5 copy. This layer 5 copy is gonna call it circle top, and then the layer 5 is gonna be circle bottom. And you want to take your time to name your layers, because sometimes you hand off this artwork to somebody else, another illustrator, artist or something, and then they look at your work and be like, what's going on here? Why is this person not naming their layers? So look at that. So there, bam. This is very simple and easy. Let's grab that corner, bring it down. It looks pretty centered. There it is. That's good. This end is a little off. There it is. Let's check on that. There we go. Perfect. So now I added this little tidbit. So let me get my compound circle and make a duplicate so that I can have another copy of that circle that's clean. And let's select these two. Look at that. What did I do? What did I do? Or rewind it. Rewind it. Rewind it. There it is. Bam! So now I have my pen tool. It looks like it's coming out from inside this window all the way outside of the circle into the house, and it's doing something, right? Awesome. So that works. So we're gonna leave that compound circle turned off, and then lock that. So it's done. Let's turn this back on so we can see what's next, right? Let's go ahead and see what's next with this logo. So now I need to have VectorMaestros. Not only that, I need to and let me turn these back, turn off the eyeballs on those, I mean the lock, so I can select everything and make sure there is no fill color. Right, because what's going to happen is you want to use this logo in all kinds of ways, and so you need to be able to have a black and white and no fill. And so now I needed to get rid of the fill, and now I have to fix this here. So we're not done. All right, so more Pathfinder tools are in order. How do we do this? We're going to select this and select that. And then make a new layer, object, arrange, send to current layer. So did it do this? I did a send to current layer, but I don't really want to send to current layer. What I need is a copy of these. So let's get this pen group. I need to use this circle as a guide to cut out this, and sometimes it's easier if we just do it like this. I'm trying a couple of ideas here, and I want to do something that is not too destructive, but and it's easy to keep that curve, but I think we can eyeball it. So here we go. Watch this. Minus, and is that gonna go away? No, it's going to add the plus. Let's do a plus here and a plus there. I can do a minus here, so I'm kind of using a lot of tools now, and so I hope you're paying attention. Let's do the same to this one. A plus here, a plus there, and a minus here. You see that? Now I'm going to add a plus here, move over to the left. That takes care of the fill color. Look at that. Now I gotta fix this the outline, and if I really want to get fancy with it, why does this have an outline? Or that's not that one. Hold on. Why would we want to keep an outline? I don't know. Let's lock that one. This one is that one. Okay, so we don't need those. Neither one of those. Lock those. We need this one. That's where that curve is. That's where we need to fix this curve. That's it. Once we fix this point, everything will be better. And if I fix this curve, it also give me that curve on the space right here, which will match that curve in the circle and give it a shadow. There we go. We're solving problems here. So let's go like that. Don't tell me that's not cool. Let's go like this. Yes, come on now. Look at that. It's beautiful. Yes. Yes, I think there's a problem here that we're gonna have to look into. Can't tell what's going on. I think this is fine because I want to make sure. Yeah, I think there is a blockage right here. So either this is on top of that or that is on top of this, but you can't have those two showing up on this side and on that side. But I think that before we move on to that, let's enjoy the moment of accomplishing this right here. So it looks like it's sticking out, right? And if I'd thought about it for a second before I did all this cutting and trimming, I would have fixed that first. So now I have to go in. Okay, it's not over. It's not over. Come on, let's get that. So let's lock in this pen copy. So there's the original pen. It's a pen copy. Circle top. We need to fix that circle top. So let's look in here. And it has a curve right there. So what can we do? We can do a couple of things. Let's add some anchor points. And then grab the middle anchor point. Use my left. I use the left key and bam, it's gone. See? Now it's hiding under this line. This line has a straight curve, and then a corner and keeps on the curve, while this circle has its own curve back here, and it looks like it's on the bottom of the pencil. Awesome. Yep, there it is. It's coming. Okay, so the last thing we want to do, so I'm putting things in their own layer. Layer 7. Okay, let's do Control S. Layer 7 is gonna be the path. So how do we do this path? Easy, man. It's just the easiest part of this whole thing. Let's go like that so it fits like it's right there. And let's get a little curve here. There it is. And see those lines, my anchors, my handles right here, I'm gonna make them in real life. So I have a handle that goes right there and another one that goes right there, right? So let's go like this and like that. Of course it's not exact, but let's take a look at my real handles. And it's hard to see the color. So let's make it a color red. Alright, good. So there we go. So then this handle needs to be further here. And then this handle needs to be right here, just so we can get accurate. Not only that, this right here line has that curve right there because there's a handle sticking out. So let's get rid of it. Done. So and now let's make the stroke 2. There we go. Yes. Right. And let's see. It's needs to be right around there. And let's see what happens when you have those squares. We're looking at the way this looks. Hey. Something happened. Come on. Got too close for comfort. Alright, let's see. There it is. So it's more like a it's a little square. They're little diamonds. That's what it is. A little diamond and square. So let's go like this. So that should be a diamond and that's gonna be a square. So then let's go right here. So let's move that one. Trying to match it up, right? That's what I want. I want it to be very realistic. All right, there you go. See? So that needs to be a square, I said. Let's get you a square. Click down and hold your, there it is. Got that square. And we're gonna have to do some maneuvering so that the square shows through. However, the rectangle, the diamond, it can be, make it small like that. The diamond can be a solid, but the square needs to be a empty. It needs to be a blank. The fill color needs to be, there should be no fill. All right, so let's go like that. Let's go like that. You see that? So now we have 2 anchors, 1 anchor, and let's see, how should that look? I'm gonna zoom in. Can I take a look at my, so it hits right at the edge. That's what it does. It hits at the edge of the line. So then it remains always a rectangle that's attached. So let's make this like that. That's what needs to happen. You see that? And let's change that to solid and get rid of the stroke. So it's smaller. There we go. It's a little off. There we go. So then they should match, right? So let's get this one and paste it. Copy and paste. Yes. There we go. So we have the handles and we have our come on. That's how it works sometimes. We have our handle and our anchor point. And because I want it to look kind of realistic, well, that's why I'm taking all this time. It's easier to just do art than it is to do things that are supposed to look like something. So here we go. So let's grab this and make a whole nother copy over here. And actually, only thing I need is this, right? Delete that, zoom out. Maybe I should make that a little thinner. That's a 2, maybe a 1. How about a 1? And that's also should be a 1. There it is. And it's the fill, it needs to be white, right? But I don't want to fill it in with white. I need to get rid of the background. So at this moment, what I'm going to do with these, right? We have what we want. And as a matter of fact, this needs to be straight because I have a curve and I want it to not have, if it's a curve, it's fine. It's just not so dramatic. Here we go, right there. You see that? Yeah. All right. It's real easy to solve the problem of this piece having an empty center by just moving it, right? There we go. Done. But this one has background stuff. I don't want to fill it in with white, even though that's the easiest thing to do, because then this won't shine through depending on the background, right? So I need to get rid of the stuff that's in the back. And one solution to this is again to go ahead and use the cut to cut through these two. It's one way. But what's going to happen is once I cut these paths, the edge of those paths are not going to connect to the square the way I want. So what's the solution? Real easy. At this point, I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you how I to turn these two paths into an object. So path, outline stroke. So now they're objects. You see that? This is one object. That's another one. They're two. And so now grab those two. I'm gonna make them one, and I'm going to make another square, rectangle shape here. Look at that. Bam. And it actually doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to fit inside of the square. Now that I have those, I have that selected. I select this one. I go like this. Bam. Oh, it went too far. So watch out. You gotta watch out for those things. So let's do that again. Let's get here and take that right there. Now that I have that, let's get that. There we go. Bam. Look at that. Ooh, bad right there. So it should have been a real square. There we go. There it is. Look at that. Anchor point, handles, diamonds for the edge of the handles, squares for the anchor points. And I wanted to make this line a little thicker, but I think I can live with that. Let's go here. And maybe I need to have a square right here. Let's go like that. And another way of getting rid of certain things is to select that path, get your knife tool, just go like this, right? And then now I've separated this piece. Look at that. Oh yeah, and then it looks like it's the pen tool is holding on to that little anchor. That is cool. Tell me it's not cool. Somebody say, I dare you. Somebody say, Dan, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's double check that the sound is good. It's fine. Yep. It did. All right. So that is awesome right there, right? Yep. I like it. Good. I like it. What do you think? If you have any comments, please say so. Please leave your comments in the video. I will respond. I will check them out. I get tagged on things like that. Let's see. Somebody, they like it. They like the post. They reacted. They like the video I shared. All right, just checking that Facebook, any Facebook messages. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Oh, we got people liking the video. Very good. So let's go ahead and get back to it. All right, so we have accomplished a lot here. That I feel good about that. Control S or Command S, depending on where you're at. If it's a PC or Mac, let's get another layer. And now we've got to put in the words Vector Maestros. So before, let's see what font I was using. I don't know. I have to find that file. But it's okay because we're going to throw in whatever font we want because this is our design and we are in charge. How about that? Okay. So how do we get some text to go inside the circle right here? So let's turn off the rest because we don't need this stuff, right? So Dan, how do we go about that? Very easy, very easy. I'm glad you asked because I'm here to show you. And this will be the last thing we do. This will be the second to last thing we do because the last thing we do is going to be to export it. All right, so here we go. So we get our shapes. We need a circle. Got it. We need our type tool. Type on a path tool, as you can see, is right there on the left hand side on your tools. On the side of the type tool menu, there are other type tool options. Type on a path tool is the one we want. Click on your path and there it is. Look at that. So now let me get my capital letters on and it's going to say Vector Maestros. Now that I did that, I get to my font and let's find a cool font. I'm going to have to rely on my go-tos and Fira is one of them. I'll let you use it if you make cool stuff. And then let's put that here. That's going to be my right edge and this is my left edge and I'm going to center and I'm going to bring up, I'm using the arrow keys now to move the circle to look like it's centered and it looks very good right there. And let's get the, there we go. Oh my God, look at that. How many steps was that? I don't know. You count them. Vector Maestros. Yes. Okay. I'm getting excited. So let me do another one. Duplicate layer 9. So this is going to be Vector Maestros. So let's do the VM on here. On this one, we are going to put it down here. And it's going to say master the pen tool. All right. Yeah, why not? And make my font smaller. There it is. And this can go here to that point. And the right side is right there. But let's take it right here. Let's take it right here. Master the pen tool. And now I can increase the size. Look at that. Just go like this. Hold down the shift button. And then move the circle around. And I'm just eyeballing it because I think I have good eyeballs. Master the pen tool. But it's I don't like the lowercase. So let me go with capitals. This and explore your creativity. There, and master the pen tool. And of course, Dan, that doesn't fit. It doesn't fit right there. I need to do something about it. I am gonna change the font size. And that would be too many words. Explore your creativity or master the pen tool. Which one is sexier? Explore your creativity or master the pen tool. And let's go with master the pen tool because we're about the business. Done. So now that I did that, now I can go back to my larger size, 21. Let's go to 24. That's okay. That's okay. And move that over. And as you can see, I'm grabbing the guides, and that adjusts where in the line, where in the path this text lives. And master the pen tool, lock it, call it master. So now we know what's inside each layer, and this is VM. And so now what I want is get my text go like this, so it's not too close to that, and it's kind of on a 45-degree angle, and there's sort of a gap here, gap there. Of course, this gap on the bottom right is larger than the gap on the top left, but it the eyeball will kind of see it as kind of equal because this pen tool is kind of taking up part of it, right? There we go. Okay. There's so much I can do to this. Some gradients, some shadows. Some shadows would be awesome. Okay, so here we go. I know I accomplished what I came to do, which was this line artwork that I can then use for everything that I'm doing with Vector Maestros. So let me fix that, and let's get that done, right? So we have all these layers. We're going to collect them in one layer, and this new layer is going to be called VM Vector Maestros logo lines, right? And so let's grab all these layers and stick them in there. Done, right? So then I'm gonna grab that and duplicate. So that's that one, and then as a matter of fact, yeah, let's lock that one, and let's grab this one just so you can see, right? Look, there it is. So this is something happened here. Okay, this is gonna be just logo lines, and not even a copy, just lines. That's backup. Let's do save, Control S. I don't know what happened to my layers window that looked crazy. Okay, there it is. Done, right? So now, so that's that one, and check this one out, right? So let's grab this one. So that's reserved because there's still some parts you can edit, like the text, the font, etc. But this one, now we're done. We finished what we wanted. Let's move on to the next step. And so so this one, now I'm gonna go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke. So everything that was a path, it is now an object. Also, what I'm going to do is go to Type and down to Create Outline. So now my fonts and my text is all gonna be a also a path. You see that? So now I cannot edit the text. This is the font we're going with. This is the text. This is how it's gonna be. So there we go. It's all vector. So let me go to View, and there it is. We have vector points. Why? Let's get rid of the yellow ones, because the yellow ones you really can't see that good. Let's go here. Look at that. Huh. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. All right, so let's go back to our regular view, and now we see that everything is vector. At this point, you want to do two things. Number one is save, of course, because you're always saving. Let's turn on a few things so we can see them. The pen tools. Where are the pen tools? There you go, right there. Remember, we started with this. Okay. Then we also did the other pen. Oops. Not that one. Logo, that one. This one. The pen, there we go. That's the pen, right? This is still has the square. We went from this pen tool to then detailed and shot a color or a block of black. Just get the black and white, just the line work. And then we tilted it, and then we brought it into the circle. And then we have, where is that circle? What happened? How do we get that circle there? I turned something on by mistake. That one. And let's get rid of that now because we don't need it actually. Come on. Right there. Come on, keyboard. Sometimes my keyboard is not helping. Let's get to the trash can. Done. So that's clean. That's still clean. This is the official logo line. Let's go with logo black because I'm gonna do a couple of things. All right, so we're kind of organizing what we had before. This came with from the export of Adobe Sketch, and then these are our resources, right? This is where we started. So so we can move all of that over outside of here. All right. So we have the original drawing, the first logo, the second logo, of course, where you find us on the internet, and then telling you to follow and so on and so forth. Okay, cool. So there's that logo. Let's turn the opacity back up. This is a review. This is where we started. This is where we were. This is what I'm showing you, the history of the logo, how it has evolved, and then the making of the new logo, right? Cool. And if I really got fancy, I would make this dirty. This pen tool right here dirty because like a real ink pen or whatever with some ink. It's too much. It's too much. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So let's do Control S for save. Done. And we're gonna freak this out now. Get our what you call it, artboard, fix it, hit the enter so I can change the sizes, and it's 460, right? That's the width, 460. All right, and then to make the height 460 and move it over. Oh no, that's not that way. Let's go like this. Oh, okay then, fine. All right, so now that I fixed the size of my artboard, that's what I did. I just changed the size of the artboard to fit the artwork, right? And so that's cool. Of course, it's going to be kind of a longer than width than it is wide because the this pen tool part is adding to it, and I can always turn that off. That's why we have that here on the path. Look at that. See? So I can turn it off and on whenever I want to. I'm gonna move this over, and now let's get my artboard tool back out. Hold down the Alt button and make a copy. So I got two now, right? Then I'm gonna select all of that, and the fill color is going to be white. I can't see it, Dan. I know. Here we go. We got the two different logos. One is white, one is black. And what I'm going to do is collect all of that. Let's see if it works into a new object. Sometimes, let's see. It did not. It moved a whole bunch of things. Let's see. Yep. It didn't work. Sometimes when you're moving things from one layer to another, it works fine. And sometimes it wants to trip out. Cause yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So let me move my layers out the way. Let me move my windows. Move them out, right? Windows, roll out. Done. Cool. Let's close these out. Done. We finished. All right. Let's select all so we can see. All right. There it is. Now let's go to File, and of course we need to save, right? So make sure you save it. Wait for it. Done. Go to File, export. And this is where having these artboards becomes important. So we're gonna export as a PNG, so that way we have a clear background. Then we're also going to click on use artboards. So PNG, use artboards, export. At the export point, we're gonna make sure that the resolution is high, because I want to use this for t-shirts, banners, and everything else that I feel like doing, and I need a high resolution PNG file. And you can always print depending on your printing resources and what are you doing. If you're at a production site, you can print from Illustrator to garment or banners and vinyl, etc. But right now I'm just exporting the file so I can use it online in other places. So I'm gonna go with the I leave it on other, and I type in the points per inch, pixels per inch, and then I click OK. And so it's gonna go through something real quick. It's working. You see the little beach ball. It's an 8 gig iMac I'm using right now. So there it is. It's gone. It's done, right? So let's take a look at my Dropbox. There's the VM logo, the one that a file that we're open on right now. As you can see, it says VM logo right down the top left. So there is the logo. Then there's the VM logo 2 and VM logo 1. VM logo 1 is the PNG of the original Vector Maestros logo with the pen tool. And then the second one is the white one. Look at that. You can't see it when it's in the files, and you cannot see it when you have it in Illustrator because you don't have a background for you to see it. But when you look at the file in other ways, especially right now, you can see that there is no background and it's all white. So that's perfect. This is awesome. So I just exported these files, and I'm going to use them the way they are right now because that's all the time I have right now. But in the future, what I plan to do, and I'm going to just give you a preview of that, so that next time you see it, like, oh dang, we did go back and fix that. It's not, I just want to adjust something, right? I want to do something to it. Come on, there we go. Let's set it right there. Done. And let's move this out the way. Oh, I still had that button plugged in. Let's go. There we go. Get you out the way. What I intend to do is get a little fancy with it. I'm going to lock these layers. Let's lock them all down. Get this new layer. Get my pen tool. Go here, 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 and there. All right. Get my gradient. There's the gradient. Click on it. Switch sides. Yes. Give me an angle. Let's go like that. Yep, better. Much is working. And then make sure this layer 18 is multiply. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Come on now. Say what? All right, all right. Let's get the other side. Let's go like this. As a matter of fact, this is really going to be fancy on this side because let's go like that. Direct selection tool, move my anchors. Now, of course, I need to turn this one backwards. Take that one off. There you go. Ha ha ha. Come on. What? Say what? All right, all right. Let's go. Some more. This is Illustrator, y'all. If you didn't know, now you know. Let's go with that. Take that one off. Let's take that. I gotta have two. There it is. Yes. Come on. That is cool right there. And when I do the opposite of the white, it'll also look really nice. I think I like that. Let's go. Let's see what do we have here. We have the plane, and then we have that. And not only did I want to do that, I want to also have some gradients going on for the pen tool, just so that you can have a little bit of an effect. So let's click on that, turn that down so it's subtle. Done. Cool. Well, that's today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Make sure that you follow on the internets, on social media, and learn something. You know, get your weight up. Start thinking about what you could draw. What would you draw? What would you create on Adobe Illustrator? What would you create when you start to master the pen tool and explore your creativity? What would you do with that? What is it good for? And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised by the amount of artwork that is around you, that lives around you, that is around here in this world, that it was made on Adobe Illustrator. So find us on the internets, follow, subscribe for tutorials and workshops to master the pen tool while exploring your creativity. This is VectorMaestros. This is where we started. We started with this logo a year ago, a year and a half ago or so. Then by mid-year, I went in and adjusted a few things, and then and now here we are. Look at that. And so the lesson here is to just start what you have, do what you can, and then figure it out as time goes on.